Listen, kids, when it comes to modular homes, there's about 1,000 different companies out there. And I'm talking to you, Gen Z, and I know that you're on the old Instagram and you're seeing all these companies come up and they come up with all these new and inventive ways to rework the word modular. But not all companies are the same. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the top modular home companies that I've worked with because I'm going to give you my personal experience and I'm going to be showing you my favorite ones. I also in this video want to share with you some of the modular home companies that I have my eye on this year. So let's go look at this together. And yes, I'm holding my microphone like this because all the cool kids do it. So the first company I want to talk about is one that I've mentioned even last year, and that was Westchester Modular. Not only do they build a very high quality home, whenever I go and visit some of these factories, there's a few things I'm looking for. It isn't just the fact that they're putting on some kind of show because I'm there and I have a camera. These employees at this factory were definitely working. The working conditions of that factory were very high.
Listen, It was 96 degrees yesterday. Could you imagine them working in 96-degree weather? Now, it's not 69 in here, but it certainly is a lot cooler inside than it is out in the blazing sun.
I've been to some factories and they are messy. The area is super hot and I feel really bad for those employees. The fact that they cared so much for their employees was a bonus to me. Secondly of all, I found out later that the whole company is employee owned. So everybody has a stake into working at that particular factory. Not many companies are run this way anymore. So it was nice to see. Thirdly of all is I was watching the steps of how they were getting the houses done.
Everything is built here under roof. So from the sill plate up, all that material is in the house when we deliver it to the job site. The units never have an opportunity to get wet because everything is built under roof, which is another inherent advantage because there's no moisture. No moisture, can't produce mold.
Look at these houses.
Yeah, really what we do here, we stick build homes.
Yeah.
And everything was very organized, and the way that they put things together in the order that they had them done, you could tell that they were really checking off the lists to make sure that they put out a quality product.
Physically lag bolting that wall all the way through. Insulation is key. We build the houses very tight here, as you can see. However, we spray foam any area where any air could potentially get through the outside wall into the house.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you over-insulate causing moisture issues?
There's, in a lot of states now, the code requires us to do things that will require an ERV system. A lot of people don't think about those kind of things.
Right.
We do think about those kind of things because, listen, we're in business 35 years, 37 years now. We're going to be around for a long time. I don't want to find out 10, 15 years from now that all of a sudden people are starting to find that moisture got trapped inside the walls and now they've really got an issue. Now, a lot of different options for tubs and showers. They don't have to be fiberglass tubs. Somebody could do a complete tiled shower stall if they want. We can actually tile it before it goes down the road.
Really?
Yes. I highly recommend on the walls, I recommend to all of our builders, and most of them can see to this, do the tile on the walls after the fact.
I would think so.
Okay. The floor systems, we tile all the time.
Okay.
Never have a problem. By the way, this is still day one of the production process. So in one day, the floors are framed, the walls are framed in just one day.
Wow.
They did have a third-party inspector that came through and inspected their homes. Now, this could be something that is required of all modular home companies. Each state is going to be different. It just was very evident that they were trying to make sure that they met that quality inspection that would come through before the house was actually delivered to the lot. I was highly impressed with their whole entire staff. Not only does Westchester Modular make a quality modular home, they have a quality work staff. They have a clean work area. They do care about the quality of the product. It isn't just about the house. It's about the whole package. They do have a smaller home product line. I haven't gone to visit that particular product line, but it is there. And they're mostly in the Northeast. So you're talking about Connecticut, New York, some parts of New Jersey, I think. I may have gotten that wrong, but call them if you're in that area and you want to check them out. They do factory tours, so you can take a whole tour of their factory. And I'll go ahead and put their website right there too. So that way, if you decide that you want to contact them, it'll be easy for you to find them. I just happen to love the company, just FYI. But there are other modular home companies I really love. And let's go jump over to the other side of the country. Since we were in the Northeast, now it's time to head towards the other half.
We have a lot of hydropower in Arizona because we have all the dams.
Okay, so what is the average bill running like a 2,000 square foot home here in Arizona?
About $300.
Oh, okay. That's
about
typical.
$100 in the winter.
So there's two companies I want to talk about. One of them is Zenny Homes. Now this is going to be a smaller type house. And the other one is Irontown Modular, and they make all different size of houses. All right, so I genuinely loved their whole makeup of how they even started this whole entire company. Now they're a newer modular home company, and they do make smaller ADU size houses. They can make them bigger, and you can stack these houses on top of each other. They have a really good program. It isn't just that they're making modular homes more affordable for the west coast of the United States. Their factory is in the Navajo Nation. Now, the building where they have it at is at a building that was actually causing detriment to the land. And now it is a net positive towards the land. And they use a lot of recycled materials from around the area to build these houses. So they're using recycled steel, and some of it actually came from the old factory that was already there.
We're trying to bring that back and therefore bring affordability.
And do it without what I like to call the bento box effect.
Again, in a smaller space, you have to be really efficient in what you do. So it's more of a galley setup. A beautiful Bosch fridge here, and freezer below. A very generous sized bathroom. Please come in and take a look. A shower, toilet, and vanity. So how fun is it that all of a sudden your office and your workout room turns into a bedroom for your grandson? And it's got all the connections for video games or whatever. This is 2 modular boxes built 8 feet wide, 40 feet long, on the Navajo Nation, and it's a beautiful combined product when you make them together on site. Created walls that move. And the super cool thing about these walls that move is that this also becomes a walk-in closet. So most of us have walk-in closets in our homes. Let's come on here and look. But this is square footage that is wasted. Yeah. And you heated and cooled the cubic square feet. That's just electricity that you're wasting. So the beautiful thing is when you're done getting ready for the day, all the square feet comes back into the room. So now you're ready to live with less square feet. Less square feet means less expensive home.
Their houses are very unique and have a very modern style. Now, one of their first projects to build these houses is to help house members of the Navajo Nation. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of the housing that's on Navajo Nation is in a state of disrepair. So their goal with Zenny Homes is to have people that actually work at the factory start building the homes and building back up some of the housing that's in that area. Each one of those homes will be designed specifically for the people that live in the Navajo Nation. So some of even the features that you see in the standard home that you and I would be purchasing have been customized for the people that live right there on the Navajo Nation land.
Everybody seems to be gravitating to these single sinks, garbage disposal, dry your dishes, everything. Again, space is a premium. Microwave, easily available to you. The induction cooktops we love. We're going to a 4 system. We think 2 might be, for some people, they feel like they're skimping a little bit. So there'll be 4 here and then an induction oven below.
Not a lot of companies will go out of their way to make sure that their employees are comfortable. And to me, from what I saw, they really did try to make sure that each one of those people had a good job and that they could get into a good home later on. This is a project that is ongoing and will continue to go on for years and years and years to come. I think the other thing that's really exciting for me when it comes to Zenny Homes is I could see these homes being used in areas that have been devastated by some kinds of natural disasters. For instance, like what just just happened in California. If you take a home like Zenny Homes and put it on a property as a temporary residence until the house is built, a lot of people could get back on their feet even quicker. So maybe that is a project that Zenny Homes could get in on. I don't know. I thought I was just throwing the idea out there. Anyways, let's get into the next property. Let's talk about the next one. So if we dip over into Utah, and this is Irontown Modular, and they're out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Now they build houses that are super small, and they can build them as custom as big as you want. They have been in business for quite some time. They have a super clean factory. This is not their first rodeo, and they're not going to be drifting off the face of the earth. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of these modular home companies, when they come into this business, you hear about them all over the place for about a year or two, and then they drift off into the universe. But Irontown is going to be here and be here for a long time. They're not going anywhere.
We're actually in the middle of a U shape right now. So the production facility comes down this side, crosses over, goes back that way. So we come out in the middle of it. We're a pretty flexible factory. The more automation you put in, the more machinery and the more fixed stations you put in, the less flexibility you have. And we could have chosen that pathway. We've chosen to serve a market that's more flexible. So this is a building. We put the entire building through a computer program that models everything out in a 3D format.
While they started off making very traditional homes that you would see on anybody's lot, they've learned to adjust because the market has dictated that the fact that we need smaller homes. So they make housing for park model RVs, they do tiny homes, and then they of course do your traditional modular homes as well. They also are very innovative in the fact that they use and utilize a lot of computer systems to get those homes done and done fast. They have an amazing crew that works on site. I was fortunate enough to be able to walk through many of the houses in different stages of them being built.
This is for movement of air and maintaining fresh air. So this unit on the right side is it's called an ERV. So it's going to exchange air between the inside and the outside without losing heating and cooling. I don't know if you care to see this or not, but the reason we like it is because this stack will do about 5 homes.
Ooh.
And it's very condensed. It's very easy to store and move around. And what we do is when we cut that, it blows up, it expands, and then we put in this machine, and this machine will break it down and put it in the walls.
Range that's smaller. It's a 24 inch versus a 30 inch. Your fridge is also, I believe it's a 27 inch, so still a little smaller sink, but you still, get the functionality of all of those. So yeah, this is definitely a little more livable. And then these are the Belmont 1300 cabinets as well. That was a style that I didn't really show you, but the black cabinets, I love those. We've done
Those are the higher end though, right?
Those are also affordable. They're the same price point as the other ones. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the one that we did where we did the recessed tile floor into the shower with the linear drain, and then the tile up the walls as well.
Could these be made for accessibility, for wheelchair accessibility?
We can look at that. Yeah, for sure. We've done a lot of our plans where we take those things into consideration and just would call accessible, right? So the ADA compliant, the regulations are much more strict, and, but we can make, so we don't always have a need for that, but we do definitely look at having units more accessible. So in this one, you just have the kitchenette studio.
This is more like a cabin. Like you're on the mountains.
Yeah.
You put a couple of these up there to enjoy the mountain views.
Yeah, maybe.
Especially with the windows on both sides. So you have windows on this side and in the front, and that's a whole sliding glass window.
And texture on the ceiling and the walls. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I love it.
And they're very serious about their work. These people were busy. And when I got there, they had meetings and they would stop everything and they would go to those meetings, and then I would wait, and then they would go ahead and show that do the whole entire tour, and then it went right back to their meetings again. They mean business. Time is money, and they're willing to work for you. So Irontown Modular, right out there in Salt Lake City, Utah, is something you should be taking a look at. Now that you've seen a few of these clips, and you're probably wondering, this little house behind me, what is it built to? Is it a modular home? Well, this actually is what's considered a SIPS home. This is a tiny home, but not a modular home. You can have a SIPS home that is considered modular if it meets that certain specifications. This one happens to not be built that way. It's just some panels that were put together. It's not a true modular. It wouldn't be used for a home. First of all, it doesn't have a bathroom. Secondly of all, there's other requirements that would make this a true house, a true modular home. And it would not meet any kind of code for anybody to live in it right now. So the next modular home company I have my eye on, I have not actually physically spoken to them yet. This is Deltec Homes out of Asheville, North Carolina. So let's go jump over to the computer and we can look at these houses together. And you can let me know in the comment section if this is a house that you would consider. First off, they're different. They're different than probably a lot of traditional home construction that you've seen because they're not a box, they're round. So here's the nest. It's 517 square feet. It's a 2 floor plan options. They have a studio and 1 bathroom. So you see what it's like a cabin, a round cabin. No, if you know anything about construction, if you have a rounded corners, you're going to have a lot easier time with things like wind and even rain and water intrusion and all these other things. And it also helps with energy efficiency. So this is what really interests me because I love those dome homes. And so it's like a cross between a true dome home and a traditional style home. And they like had a baby. And then you would get a Deltec home. So this little house is only $45,000. And you're probably thinking, well, $45,000 seems like a lot. Well, if you look at home construction today, this is right in line with what homes cost. So it isn't that expensive. Let's look at the hideaway. You can do it either 1 or 2 bedrooms. Again, see those nice rounded corners. It actually has a porch on it, and they have various floor plans here. I really want them to show me their factory really badly, but you can see how like each room is divided up. So you're not like in that completely open floor plan. Me personally, I hate an open floor plan. I'd never do it again. And the air is able to flow at the top. The idea of this rounded style homes have been around forever, and they have been proven to be energy efficient for eons. But just like anything, whenever something looks different, it takes time for people to change their minds about it. But I mean, honestly, this is a really great floor plan because you have your whole living area here with the kitchen, then you have the bedroom, and then you have a laundry room, and your whole HVAC system is under roof. This is a really neat floor plan. And the starting price of this one is only $59,905. So I want to know where they got the $5 from. Let's look at their biggest one. This house is $132,000, but it's 2,070 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom, and it has 2 or 3 baths. They have this one on piers. So even the design of this being near the beach, I love that they showed this picture because it makes a ton of sense. With those rounded corners, it's going to be a lot easier for the wind, especially beach air, to cut through that area instead of having square blocks. That's a lot of restriction for wind to go around the building itself. Love that. Love the price. All right, let's look at the floor plan. See how big that is? Is huge. We got the bedroom suite here. We have an office here. We have another bedroom suite here and another bedroom here. I bet you could even make this into like a nursery if you wanted to. For that price, for that square footage is really amazing. I don't see where they have any factory tours. Let's look at some of these other pictures here. You can see right on the website here. That's beautiful. So that is different than the typical modular constructed home. And I love that. And I love the fact that they've been around for a long time. These type of structures that are built this way tend to stand the test of time. They last for a very long time. And not only do they stand the test of time, they stand up to the test of wind, which can be very devastating, as you know, especially if you live in an area that has storm damage like hurricanes, tornadoes, those types of things. So that was Deltec Homes out of Asheville, North Carolina. And here is their website right here if you wanted to check them out. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. They do not know I'm pointing them out. I just wanted to let you know. Now, the next company I have my eye out on, I don't know why I keep doing this, but the next company I have my eye on is Impressa Modular Homes. And I have seen them. I have actually spoken to them via LinkedIn and a few emails, but I've never gone to their factory. But their homes are stunning. They have a lot of different branches of their company. Let me go ahead and show you some of the companies that's under the umbrella. I got this straight from their website. So it's Impressa Modular, Impressa Modular Franchising, Impressa Homes Designed for Better Living, and Impressa Building Systems. I was able to get a few videos from them that allowed me to kind of show you what they had in store. I would love to hear from you if you happen to have one of these Impressa homes and tell me your personal experience. So maybe we could do a future video. And I'd love to go see their factory. Even though I've talked to them, they haven't offered to fly me out to see their factory. So, but I do think that they're worth looking at for 2025. They have been around for a long enough period of time that I don't think they're a fly-by-night modular home companies. But let's go ahead and take a look at their homes on their actual website. Sometimes this kind of always concerns me whenever you see houses that are just computer renderings. If it was me, Mr. Impressa, I would update these pictures to show actual homes that you guys have built in the past. I know that they're a real company and I do know they exist, but whenever I give people information on modular home companies, I always tell them to be very wary of homes that are just computer renderings. So it says do a 360 tour. So let's take a 360 tour. Well, it's giving me a 360 tour, but again, it's a computer rendering. But even though I may not love their website, they actually have real homes that you can see being put together on their YouTube channel, and that is Impressa Modular. You can go right over there and check out all the houses they have built, the real ones. I may not love their website, but they do build real houses. They really do, I swear. Now we just need them to invite me to their factory and have me fly out there and get my camera so I can give you the behind the scenes of what actually goes on in their factory itself. So Impressa Homes is one of the companies I'm going to be looking at in 2025. So you remember how I said earlier that not all modular home companies that claim that they're building modular are actually modular? Well, a lot of them like to use the word modular because it's the new sexy trendy word that people are using. And in essence, yes, they have little pieces of rooms that they're putting together, but they're not built to what they consider modular construction altogether. A modular home is built to the same specifications as a traditional built home. It just so happens those rooms that they put together happen to be built in a factory. Once they get to that location, once it's put together, it will meet or exceed the building code in the area that it's built in. It is not a house that they just put the rooms together. It has to meet certain code in order to be considered a modular home. This is not true of all states, but the word itself has been brutalized. It's the new sexy word that they want to use to make their product sound better than what it is. The affordability crisis is not getting any better. We need to build homes faster. And to me, in my opinion, this is one of the fastest ways we could do it, and do it now instead of waiting for a possible new solution. I always have my eye out on modular home construction companies that have been around for quite some time. But I'm not opposed to looking at some new companies as well. If there's any companies that you would want me to take a look at that I could feature in future videos, please let me know in the comment section, because I want to take a close look. I'm talking walk through their factories, see their labor force, see how they actually put the houses together, so that way I can share it with you. If it ends up being a farce, I will never feature them. To watch more videos about modular home companies, the ones that I've visited in the past, you're going to want to watch these videos right here. My name is Kristina Smallhorn, your real estate whisperer, and I tell you all this because good real estate information matters.